here in the capital city. While some are focused on the madness of March, over here at the arena, it's Rodeo Mania. The Texas swing is winding down and crucial dollars are at stake. Some are riding a wave of momentum, while others need to pick up the pace. In the city that likes to keep it weird, we're keeping it rodeo. This is the short round of Rodeo Austin, and this is Rodeo Live. Well, it is Championship Saturday kind of night here in the capital city. We are live in Rodeo Austin for Rodeo Live. Thank you for joining us here in Austin, Texas. I'm Katy Lucas from the Cowboy Channel, but I am not alone for this great show tonight. Joining us for the first time on the show, 2015 World Champion Jacobs Crawley, Cowboy Channel analyst and regular on Rodeo Live, Sierra Spratt, and 9-time NFR qualifier Coleman Proctor. Guys, it is championship night. I think there's just kind of a different feel tonight in Rodeo Austin.
Yeah, for sure, and you just kind of felt it in with that breeze that we just felt there. But we've got 3 stock contractors that are running in their rankest stuff in the rough stock, and they've kind of thrown them into a bag. The matchups are there. I've been excited like I was competing tonight since I saw the draw, so it's going to be great.
Oh, we cannot wait to break down that draw with you. But Sierra, seeing the fast runs and the breakaway roping kind of makes you want to shake a loop out, right?
It makes you want to get out of your hand is what it makes you want to do. One swing, throw, commit. I mean, it is an incredibly fast start in all of the timed events, and you see that, and you especially see that in the team roping.
Yeah, you're talking 2 now. We're talking breakaway type times. But look at this crowd just for the pregame show. It's hard not to bring your A game when you're in Austin, Texas, at one of the best winter rodeos of the Texas swing.
I know you guys are used to backing into the box or settling down into the chute here, but you've got some people behind you. The pressure's on.
Hey, and it shows out there. You know what I'm saying? They get fired up. Austin, that's one great thing about this rodeo is if it's on a Tuesday night or the short round, like they're fired up. So it's going to be great.
And we're fired up because it is a short round night tonight, and we're looking at 2 different formats. Talking about the timed event side of things, it's a 3-head average, so it has been a battle to get to this short round tonight. You have to think about the previous 2 runs that they have coming into this. Coleman Proctor, this changes things if you're first out tonight or last out tonight.
I don't know if it changes anything for the team that's first out tonight. They've been going fast since they got here. 3-5 round 1, 2-9 world record round 2. They're 11 on 2 with a +5. To put it in perspective, one of the first times I came to Austin 20 years ago, 11 on 2 was high call, and that was clean. So I don't think it changes their game plan any. Obviously, the team that has the lead, they got a little bit of a cushion, but man, a cushion can go fast here in Rodeo Austin.
So let's recap some of those great runs along the way. Thank you to our friends at Cinch for our rodeo recap. Sierra, Kincaid Henry, he's been almost unstoppable in 2026.
He has. What a great Texas swing that Kincaid has had. Him and Mario here coming in #1 in the aggregate. Of course, he was your Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo champion earlier. I'm sure he's feeling that confidence. #2 man in the world right now, chasing that first world title. You can see round #1, he was an 8-3, just making a businessman run. And then round #2, he said, all right, I got a good calf. I'm going to put a little gas on it. 7.6 to go up 3rd in that round and #1 man in the average.
Coleman Proctor, since you're a steer wrestler now, pretty much, I think that qualifies you to talk a little steer wrestling. How about Tristan Martin?
Man, amazing set of horses he's on. He's riding the Great Shelby. He has Metallica, possibly one of the greatest pace horses of all time. And it looks like his form's coming together. I think his boy Boudreaux has been tuning on him a little bit. But Tristan's been knocking on the door. All Texas swing, barely misses the finals at Houston. I think it could all come together for him tonight. Austin becomes a tough place to bulldog. For some reason, has for years, the steers don't leave the chute clean. He's done a great job of navigating it.
Yeah, I think the same can be said for the team roping as well. The start is difficult here.
Absolutely. It's kind of a dead box, dead go. This team here, Tanner Thomas and Colby Payne, they've been on fire all winter. They start off, they win Denver. They stay hot. They're rocking and rolling. Probably the biggest news, besides their half-second lead over the field tonight, is they're going to be done rodeoing together after the Texas swing. San Angelo will be the last one you see that great team at.
Yeah, there's some breakups in the mix. What's going on with the chemistry behind the scenes here? We want to know. Team roper to team roper.
Honestly, a lot of times it's when chemistry doesn't work, that's when you got to find a new partner. All that happened, Tyler Wade said, I'm rolling it up and taking it home for the year. So that leaves Wesley Thorpe out there. You get a chance to row with a guy like Thorpe. Even Colby Payne told Tanner the other day, hey man, you get that opportunity, you've got to go take it. So that's really what that's going to come down to.
So basically you're saying some Facebook updates are coming. Like it's going to be complicated for the foreseeable future.
Absolutely.
I
was really trying to keep that one under wraps and hoping it didn't hit Facebook yet. You know what I mean? But now they went from interested to taken.
I'm sure you've got it on your phone on an app. Like you can do what you need to do. There's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? So you're out there looking.
Yeah, the notifications are flying off the handle, not only because there's some shakeups in the team roping, but as we move to our Tractor Supply winning moment, we have seen the fastest run ever in the team roping here at Rodeo Austin. Coleman?
I'm going to tell you, this is the greatest display of ropesmanship that you could ever possibly draw up. Dustin Egaskiza, JC Flake, you knew it was possible. This is a fast team. They both throw extremely fast. But let me show you why this run in particular was so fast. And there's been a lot of social media security on this. Dustin is cutting it loose a little bit early possibly. The barrier's still up, and that's basically, it's coming off his fingers, and that is the crossfire for headers. You can't throw in the box. Kind of a bang-bang play, gets away with it. You know how it is, Jacobs, in rodeo.
I can't see his hand, and I'm sitting right here. So, and it's not even moving.
Absolutely. Well, he gets it on his head really fast, and then here's been the big controversy. JC starting that rope down a little early here. This would be what we do consider a crossfire. You see his rope making contact in the middle of the steer switch. He hasn't really hit the end of it yet, coming out of it. It does start to look a little worse here as the steer fights his head and shot his hips even further down the pin. So I think that's really probably why he got away with it so much. But whatever is aesthetically pleasing to the flagger, because at the end of the day, it's his opinion that matters the most. It's like my daddy always told me. He said, son, that the judge is always right, even if he's wrong. But, great run, not taking anything away from it, and dang sure not throwing any shade at him, man. That was an amazing run. And guys have done this in Austin. Like, headers have thrown that fast, heaters have thrown that fast. It's the first time we've seen it on the same run.
Before we get past, I'm going to add this disclaimer. Do not ask a saddle bronc rider the rules of team roping, okay? Just so you know, like, that replay, I have no business breaking that down. So that's why you sit right there.
It more goes with the breaks of rodeo. You're going to get the good breaks, you're going to get the bad breaks. There's times you thought you broke the barrier and you got out and made one of the greatest runs of your life. There's sometimes a judge sees it differently.
Let's take a little walk down memory lane here, guys. The history of the fastest runs in the world in the team roping. Coleman, this is pretty special here. We go all the way back to 2009, the first time we saw a 3.3-second run there. Chad Masters, Jade Corkill, you told me this is one of the most exciting runs you've ever seen.
Yeah, it was the most iconic runs. It came in iconic round 9, half head off of Old Handsome there, and nobody thought that'll ever get beat. And then this kid from eastern Oklahoma, southeast Oklahoma, Rance Doyle, shows up and becomes the fastest healer in the world twice.
I know, yeah. Who? Rance Doyle, who? I feel like we all were saying that in 2025. The first time he was 3.2 seconds. He does it again here with a different partner at Rodeo Austin, but they only got to celebrate here for a few days before we saw that 2.9. But either way, history has already been made here at Rodeo Austin. Sierra, it could get better tonight.
There is no doubt. We've already seen some very exciting moments, and of course, the most exciting moments always happen in the short go. So I can only imagine what we're about to see.
Absolutely, especially in a town like this with a crowd like this. Everybody's excited. It's pretty much electric out there.
Yeah, it is certainly electric here at Rodeo Austin, and that's just the first 3 events we're going to talk about today on the show. When we come back, we're going to put Jacob's Crawley to work. He's been checking the draws, and we want to know who has the bull or horses that will bring them to the top. We're going to put the pressure on him to answer that next. And later on the show, there's a young local talent that may be the most inspirational story of the night. And get this, he's not even old enough to hold a PRCA card yet. We will tell the story of Elijah.
In January of 2026, at a regional rodeo in Edna, Texas, Elijah entered the box. The calf broke hard, racing to the far end of the arena, the one place Elijah struggles most to track it. Most people in the stands had no idea what they were watching, but those who did held their breath.
I thought, it's just not going to happen today. And all of a sudden he threw it and everybody just started screaming.
Rodeo Live is brought to you by Cinch. Lead, don't follow.
Capital of Texas, it's a heck of a crowd. The energy there is good, and once again, the money's phenomenal.
Such a great place, pays really well. They treat us great, and it's really, really tough to do good there. There's a lot of good guys there each year.
Rodeo Austin is about as fast as you can go. You gotta go over there. They don't weaken over there. Rodeo Austin is fast, and it's tough to get into that finals at Austin. The start's really fast, and it's electric there.
Rodeo Austin was very good to me last year. In the bull riding, not the bareback riding, I've struggled there. But it's great. Some of my good friends, the Beutler crew has that rodeo. Hopefully we can do it again, the bull riding, maybe bareback riding.
You know, there's just something about Rodeo Austin, whether it's the fans that come out in droves, the atmosphere in the arena, the bucking stock, or dare I say it, the fashion. And we felt a little inspired in our fashion today, Jacobs, by someone in particular.
Yeah, Mr. Beutler, Benny himself, he is a man about fashion. He'll be the first one to tell you. But, he's known for his little kerchief, if you will.
Yes.
Sometimes the wild rag he'll put on the hat. And so he's got a way about him. He's certainly he's an icon, you know what I mean, in our industry. And in my opinion, he's one of the last of his kind because he is as real as it gets. He's a fun-loving guy. And he's done this for over a half century. You know what I mean? That he's been involved bringing stuff and not just stuff, but like NFR's rank. I mean, he's known for running in stuff that's going to challenge you. So he's a friend, and he's just somebody that I've always enjoyed being around.
Yeah, he's known for his personality too, and that's why we wanted to have a little fun because we all love Benny Beutler. So Benny, these scarves are for you. We wanted to show off your iconic style. Coleman, I think a beautiful impression you're working over there.
He always tips his hat, and especially if you're getting in trouble with Benny, I think, he starts reaching at that hat a little bit more.
And we've always had some fun along the road too, and I gathered some photos from some of our rodeo cowboys too that just wanted to dress like Benny. This was a fun day.
I actually thought Wes Stevenson was Benny for a second. In that picture over there. That's
Impeccable,
right there.
impeccable.
Yeah. No, that's Travis Sheets. Anyways, but yeah.
Look at young Wade Sundell on the
Yeah,
side
I know.
there
That's been a
too,
minute.
but there's a whole herd of Bennies right there.
And
too.
that picture really embodies everything that Benny is. He is, when you're a young guy, he's this larger-than-life personality to where you're almost hesitant to go talk to.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you get to know him, and it's just like that. He's hugging, the top bareback riders or anything like that. And when you're a young bareback rider coming up, trust me, you are not in that laughable state at a Benny rodeo because the animals that he's about to run in are about to buck. But you love him, and it's like I said, just happy to call him a friend, and I love seeing pictures like that.
Yeah, they truly are an inspiration too. They have gone through absolute tragedy just a couple years ago, and to see where they've come is amazing.
Yeah, the tragedy they had where they lost 90% of their herd of, bucking animals. NFR horses were all in that mix, and Benny was telling me the story about whenever it happened, he said he gathered everybody up, and Rhett, Jake, everybody of the family, and said, we can either pack it in or I'm gonna get on this phone and start making phone calls. And he reached out to the rodeo family, other stock contractors and things like that, and they gave him an opportunity to kind of rebuild his herd, and they've done a great job. They picked the great ones, so they're just a couple years from that, and they're already, showcasing new animals that we didn't know about before, and it's making for a great rodeo.
Yeah, they had generations of bucking horse bloodlines that they lost, but just like you mentioned, the rodeo community came together, even donated some animals, allowed them the opportunity to buy some animals, which doesn't often happen between stock contractors. It's a competitive game, but the rodeo family reached out.
Well, and I feel like they recognize that in Benny. I mean, he kind of embodied the American cowboy grit, determination. He was faced with a tragedy, and he just said, hey, we're going to make it happen, and he set their mind towards it, and that's where they're at today.
And look where they're at today. This is a whopper of a short round that we have coming your way in the rough stock. Tanner Oss, though, there's just something about him and Rodeo Austin. Let's get into the weeds with RM43 to talk about this multi-time Rodeo Austin champ.
Yeah, so Tanner, it's a real thing. When you're at a rodeo that I just always seem to do well, in the past, you're excited about that rodeo. It's whether it's subconsciously or not, in your mind, you know what it feels like to be the champion. And Tanner, he's a guy that's done this a long time, several times at Austin, but he's just been on, a heater for these last few years. He made a great ride in the semifinals. We're going to see it in a minute, but I'm looking forward to everything he's got. You can see just on these rides, and they kind of embody the short round. He's 90.5, 91. The short rounds here, you're going to see everything from the handfuls to the TV pins. I mean, it's a rank, kind of a grab bag that we've got going on. But Tanner, that veteran, stance that he's got, he just knows how to make it work on any type of animal.
E-pin, TV pin, very different types of horses. What would you rather draw in Austin?
It just depends on which one, first off. But, you're any bronc rider, you dream about those TV pin animals. And you get a little nervous about those E-pinners, but it's one of those high risk, high rewards. So, yeah, so Tanner, for example, in his happy hour, these are nice horses. They kind of all have those moves, though. So, I mean, all bareback horses look like eliminators to me, FYI, because I'm not running my hand at rigging. But especially when you ring the Beutler and Son barebacks in. And so that was, Tanner, he's riding that. But Keenan and his comeback, this is fascinating. He made a great ride in the progressive round. And the horse he has tonight, saw Wasey Shala win Odessa on it this year. And then I think Rocker was 87.5. on him in San Antonio. Tucson, they were a lot. It's a horse called Guitar Town in Austin, which is known for music. So I was like, maybe that's a thing. Yeah, so I'm excited because Keeney's got super fast feet and he can dress one up. And I think that Guitar Town is one that he'll be able to dress up.
How has he looked to you in his comeback? Has he come back stronger than ever, do we feel like?
That would be tough to beat how he looked in that last round. I mean, he had a good horse, but he grabbed him with his feet, and he's flashy. And of course, you got your guys that are at the top right now with Rocker and Bradley, and LB's got a stud. You know, being first out on the stud, we'll see if he can roll. But I mean, I'm excited, and we'll get into our picks later. Also, Ethan is riding super hot at this rodeo.
I know, talking with you, you're very secretive about your picks, so I'm excited for you to reveal them later in the show. We got a true competitor right here.
Yeah, a competition.
Okay, but let's get to your event.
Yes.
And I know you're excited to talk about Rusty Wright and the matchup that he's got.
I'm just excited for Rusty. I love Rusty. You know, he is on, as we've been saying, you know, the guys on the heater. Well, that's what he's been on, and so I'm excited for him. He's got the horse of the year from 2 years ago on All or Nothing, and this horse, they've been 91, 92, 89 the last 3 years.
Sounds like he's all right.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's one of those TV pen horses. Like, he is the one that guys just love no matter what. And on the other end of that is an animal that Zeke has. So you've got one of the best, by far grittiest, toughest guys that can flash one up in Zeke. And he's got an animal that, it's got a few different trips, but if he has his day, it can be the rankest thing I've seen. They 24.5 this horse out of 25, his first trip in Austin. And it was probably pretty legit because there was one jump that I don't understand how that horse was so steep. But yeah, so Zeke, and you can even see this because I think this is buck order Green Bay. I mean, it's like, it's got a chance to just light it up. I know y'all talking about breaking records in the team roping. That could be a real thing because if you match a 24.5, there's your saddle bronc record.
Yeah, with Zeke Thurston.
I'm just saying, it could be pretty special.
So wait, I'm confused. Are we picking Rusty or are we picking Zeke? Or
we'll never know. Or any of the above. I'm not even saying I'm picking any of them.
All right. Okay, I know you've been making some calls on the bull riding side of things, and there's an Aussie that you've been really impressed with.
Yes, and if you watch this progressive round, just everything was so correct. And I was a bull rider in high school, that is it. But
claim to fame,
yeah, definitely. But anyhow, Quinn's ride in the semifinals just impressed me, and they said he's been feeling good and riding good. And he's also got this bull Wingman that he was 87.5 on last summer. And I mean, in the bull riding, when you're feeling good, and I saw the video because my buddy had the video, I think he can ride him even better than he did last summer. So being that he's got that history with him, I think he's a sleeper. T. Parker's got a young bull that's a bucking dude. So kind of in the same way, you've got your pick that Quinn on the one he's proven on, that's going to be, I bet, 88, 89. But T. Parker rides this bull, he's 90 plus if he has his day.
Coleman Proctor, you truly are the Iron Man now. We saw you debut at that event. I know you've maybe dabbled in rough stock somewhere along the line. Maybe it was just your horse bucking here and there.
Yeah, that was a long time before I got that Preferred horse walker. I'd have a few on a cold morning. But, you know, I wanted to be a bull rider. And my dad told me, son, that's not going to be in the cards for you. But, man, the talent level out there now, and you guys are talking E-pins, TV pins, and I'm thinking, man, they all look the same to me. They are ranked nowadays. The stock has gone up so good, but also the contestants now. Man, it is amazing to watch all the rough stock events.
It's so cool watching how this young generation is treating it like the sport that it is, and because of the opportunities, you know what I mean? And all these guys are taking care of themselves physically, so you're matching that you know, preparation with athleticism and youth, and it makes for exciting.
Yeah, it is going to be an exciting short round tonight, and we're just kicking things off here at Rodeo Live. We'll continue to tell those stories next, and we're going to get the next story directly from that barrel racer right there, Latricia Duke, whether she's training horses in the background or competing on them herself. She is a force to be reckoned with, and she joins us next on Rodeo Live.
Rodeo Live is brought to you by RM43, Serious Weed Control.
Texas swing is very important nowadays. You got to be lights out every time you nod your head.
The Texas swing is so vital in kick-starting your season. The winter rodeos, they pay so good.
These rodeos pay very well.
With all the money, the environment that it gives you, the hospitality that each committee gives you, it's very vital to make it to the finals.
So much money here, and it's great rodeos, but to be able to capitalize here makes it so much easier, get a gold buckle at the end of the year.
Last year, my best year in the Texas swing, ended with a world title, and I definitely have a lot of credit to give back to those Texas swing rodeos.
It gives us a lot of opportunity to win good money prior to leaving for the summer, and it's always good to do good this time of year.
We're back on Rodeo Live here in Austin, Texas, this time with a very special guest that is short round bound in just a few moments here, the 2024 NFR qualifier, Latricia Duke. Latricia, thank you so much for joining us. Tell me a little bit about your time here in Austin. So consistent so far. How impressed have you been with that young horse?
He's just surprised me so many times this year. I really wasn't even planning on rodeoing, and he's taken to it so well, and I'm just so proud of him.
We were talking earlier, I was kind of sharing, working with some of the young guys on their permit. They're always real strategic in when they should rodeo and how they should rodeo before they do it. And in a way, that's kind of the position that you found yourself in with kind of, it sounds like all the success is just coming through with this new ride, and to where, how does it look? It's kind of moving forward.
It's been really exciting, I can say
Yeah,
that.
exactly, yeah.
I was just going to go to the buildings. I figured this was the last year I would get to go to the buildings, and I was going to have fun, hang out with my friends, and eat good hospitality. And he had different plans, and God's plan's always bigger than ours. And I'm just along for the ride and hope that God keeps let me have fun and enjoy that horse.
Yeah, I feel like that's when it's really special, is when you just feel like you just let go of things, and what will be, you know what I mean? And you ride the wave, and a wave of success is never a bad thing to ride.
No, it's pretty fun.
And we're not surprised. You've trained many amazing horses, but I know this one is awful special because he's got a special connection to the last amazing horse that we've seen you ride. Vanilla Wafer took you to the 2024 National Finals Rodeo. He's retired now and standing at stud, but he's got a special connection with Carlos here as we bring you our Las Tunas horsepower report. We look back to Vanilla Wafer. What was so special about this stallion?
Everything. That was the coolest horse I've ever rode in my life, and I've rode a lot at my age. But he just always wanted to please, and he always wanted to help me out and be good, and he was a blessing from the day he was born.
Now, Latricia, she just did mention that they have a special connection. So Carlos and Vanilla Wafer, they share a mom. And I mean, how much do you really see that mare coming out in both of those horses? I mean, was it just their personality? Is it how they are in the arena?
There's a lot of similarities to them. Carlos is actually more like probably Kylie, we called her Kylie, than Vanilla Wafer was. But that mare always tried her heart out, and both of these horses have been the same way. And I have a couple of more brothers, so hopefully it keeps going.
One thing that's amazing, you were talking about a while ago, you've rode a lot of horses. We've all rode a lot of horses, but you've rode some great horses. How many horses have gone to the NFR that didn't have you on, like you sold, and that went on and made the finals?
6 horses took 7 people.
6 horses took 7 people.
Wow. What's the secret?
Just God sometimes looks down and goes, bless your heart. I'm going to send you a good one. Those great horses, I don't think we really make them great. We just try to stay out of the way and bring along the talents that God gave them, and great ones are born.
We see a lot of dynamic duos throughout the barrel racing world too. I think you've jumped on a lot of different horses, you've trained a lot of different horses, but when we think about your competition, we think about those dynamic duos. We've got Haley and Sister, your fellow competitor here, Cassie Mowry and Jarvis, you tied them in round number 2. How much fun is it to duke it out with these, not just ladies, but also with the horsepower?
I got asked about the Final Four at Houston, and I told them, I said, I thought I'd already won. I mean, I got to run my horse with Sister and Jarvis and Apollo. So, I mean, those are horses that just to get to compete with them and in their presence makes you better. And the old saying, iron sharpens iron, is true. And so, you know, it was an honor to get to compete with those horses, and tying Cassie here, I mean, I feel like I've already won before I compete tonight.
And Carlos especially, we got to get to know this horse a little bit better, because the very first prize that Carlos has put into the trailer was the guitar from Houston. I mean, how wild is that?
Extremely wild. I started him in September, so we went to a few jackpots and then cracked out at Denver. And so, yeah, that was his first prize, and I'm pretty excited about it. I already have it on the mantle.
Man, that's exciting. One thing I've got to know, I've got to settle this dispute between me and my wife. Is it Latricia, or how do we say your name? I heard the other day on the podcast it might be different. How do we pronounce it?
Latricia.
Latricia.
All right, noted.
After so many years of marriage, I'm used to my wife being right and me being wrong, even if I'm right.
Before we end it, though, I just want to just pay respect into kind of how you approached it whenever we were talking about Cassie and the success that they've had, and some of the horses that your young one has come up against. And it's just that game recognized game type of thing that really rodeo has throughout all the events. You know, there's always those leaders and those favorites, but I feel the drive in every great competitor is wanting to catch or knock off that favorite type deal. You know what I mean? And just like you said, just running yours against them is a victory within itself, because it's just exceeded expectations and earlier than you thought.
It really is, and I love great horses. It doesn't matter if it's team roping horses or calf horses or breakaway horses. I've even learned I started following some of the bucking horses, but great horses are just special, and they're such a gift, and I just enjoy watching them and being a part of it.
Likewise.
Well, yeah, we appreciate some insight into your world too. I mean, you just have it figured out, it seems like, with these young horses, and best of luck tonight. We're excited to see you and Carlos back here.
Thank you so much.
You know, we talk about great horsepower, exceeding expectations, and that's exactly what we'll talk about next on Rodeo Live with a youngster that has completely exceeded all expectations before him. That's next. We're back once more on Rodeo Live, taking a look at the future of agriculture. It was certainly on display here at Rodeo Austin. But as we move over to the rodeo arena, you know, for most rodeo athletes, success is about timing, precision, and reacting to what you can see in front of you. But for one young competitor that lives just 70 miles from this arena, the challenge is far greater, but the reward even bigger.
What do you want to do whenever you grow up?
Be a ranch hand. I'm proud of what he's been able to do. 3-4 years ago, I would have thought there's no way this kid's going to be able to do this.
In Burton, Texas, the Faske family doesn't do anything halfway. They're raising 31 children, 28 of them adopted, and many rooted in rodeo. When Elijah Faske arrived at 6 years old from a disrupted adoption, he inherited all of it: the horses, the ropes, the arena. And what no one knew then was that Elijah would learn to rope in a way few cowboys ever had.
When he came into this rodeo family, you automatically get handed a rope and put on a horse. He had to kind of jump in and run with it.
He's on the autism spectrum, but on the high functioning end. He was born with a birth defect where he was missing one of his eyes completely, and he has a prosthetic in that eye. And then his other eye, he has low vision in. He has 20/250, and he also has something called coloboma, which is like blacked out spaces in his field of vision. And so when he looks at something, you know, his brain just sees parts of it, and he can kind of gather that together in his mind and say, okay, that's a horse.
With 6 kids currently competing, 4 girls in high school rodeo, and 2 boys in junior high, the Faske Arena is rarely quiet. But for a long time, Elijah wasn't part of the noise. He was in the stands.
He had to sit out a lot of things, and he spent a lot of time with me in the stands. He couldn't see his brothers and sisters out there in the arena.
When Elijah was old enough, he started where most Faske kids do, with barrel racing and pole bending, learning the basics of riding and reining. But the roping pin was always his calling. His older brother, Caleb, had already taken upon himself to teach Elijah everything that he knew, starting with a dummy on the ground and working up from there.
I heard him telling the other kids how he wasn't going to do barrels anymore, and that unless he got to rope, he just wasn't going to do it. And then we started working on roping.
I really didn't see it as being possible, honestly. I know Caleb wanted it, and the other kids were helping him, and he was getting pretty good on dummy, but that transition to live cattle and on horseback, it's a big jump.
We started letting him just give it a shot.
No, so sit on your seat. Like, yeah, like this, and put your toes back. Toes down, not up.
Remember, you're supposed to have a slight bend in your knees.
I know.
Right there. All right? Toes down a little bit.
Our kids make it very easy because they take on a lot of what's going on. They train their own horses. They do all the work themselves, and they're helping Eli the same. I'm not a roper, so everything he knows came from the kids.
But roping blind presents a challenge no amount of practice alone can solve. Finding the calf in a large arena, especially under dim lights, a dark calf against a dark dirt, is nearly impossible for Elijah to track. The family needed to find a way to create contrast. The answer came from an unlikely place.
A friend of ours had the idea. He had a dog collar, but it was actually a shock collar that had a light on it for working dogs. And we tried that on the calf, and that is actually when he caught the first time, was with the lighted collar.
Being able to see where the head of the calf is very helpful.
The lighted collar was a breakthrough, but it wasn't a magic fix. Roping requires feel, timing, and the ability to read an animal that doesn't move the same way twice. For Elijah, who can barely see a few feet in front of him, there were still days when the whole thing felt impossible.
That first summer, I don't think he caught the entire summer. That time he was just so down on himself. And I could tell when he was leaving the arena that he had big tears coming out of his eyes. And he said, "Mom, I suck." He said, "I'm never going to be able to catch a calf. I'm never going to be able to do this."
The other kids have really rallied around him, that when he is down and feeling like he can't do it, they're there and going, "You got this. This is what we're going to try now." They're always trying different things.
In January of 2026, at a regional rodeo in Edna, Texas, Elijah entered the box. The calf broke hard, racing to the far end of the arena, the one place Elijah struggles most to track it. Most people in the stands had no idea what they were watching, but those who did held their breath.
And I thought, it's just not going to happen today. And all of a sudden he threw it and everybody just started screaming because it was around its neck.
Honestly, I was kind of surprised that it did happen, especially in that run. But it was amazing, the amount of work that our kids put into it to helping him to get to that point. It was kind of a payoff for everybody.
I called his name and he came up to the fence and gave me a high five, and he was just so happy. It was just so great to see. I think my favorite part of the whole thing was when he just reached down and he petted Catalina's neck, and you could tell like he was just so appreciative of her for putting him in the right position and for taking care of him.
Now that he has got to this point, you can see a complete flip-flop of who he was before as to who he is now.
This is a child that came from a place that was of complete brokenness. You know, he had a lot of hurt and he didn't really know how to process that, and it kind of turned into him having a hard time. And this has really boosted his confidence and helped him to be able to make friends and to learn how to be part of an organization and a group. And I think he really feels good about himself, which is really a beautiful thing to see.
Well, you just heard the story, and there Elijah is in person. He's come out to watch Rodeo Austin tonight. What an inspirational story. Coleman Proctor, you're a father. This is pretty special.
I'm not gonna lie, that made my allergies act up.
Oh, it's not just being good.
I mean, that was incredible. What cowboy grit, what a great family, what a great horse. I mean, that just, everything about that video is inspirational. If you're having a bad day, you watch something like that, man, you can get fired up.
Yeah, Sierra, if you ever don't want to hop in the practice pen, there's your inspiration right there.
I was thinking the same thing. When you're young, I remember what that was like, learning how to rope. I mean, there were moments where you thought, this is impossible, I'm never going to be able to get it. And watching Elijah, I mean, not just overcome what he had to, but having the support of his family the entire time, now being a part of that rodeo community, there is nothing like it, and I'm so happy that he's here in this family.
Jacob's little allergies over here too?
Just you could do a whole segment on not just his determination and toughness, but then also the support from his peers, you know what I mean, and brothers and sisters, and just what that means to, you know, if you have that, build someone up, you know what I mean, and his willingness to keep pushing through. And if you've ever had a doubt on the importance and some of the benefits of rodeoing and spending time in the arena with your family or kids, or just putting in the time, just moments like that, experiences like that are worth everything.
Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me just what this sport of rodeo can do for its competitors. And we're going to talk more about those competitors on the other side of this break as we continue to dive into the timed events and celebrate young guys that were once like Elijah right there, that have now battled their way into PRCA competition.
Rodeo Live is brought to you by Tractor Supply for life out here.
toughest sport on dirt, that 8-second ride with the cowboys and girls. Let the Bronx out the gate. Y'all better hang on. Just gold buckles and stay. Get your feet, hit the lights, saddle up, 'cause it's finally time for Rodeo Live. Saddle up, 'cause it's finally time for Rodeo Live.
Well, we've been everywhere, man, in Texas, that is, so far for Rodeo Live. There was a great look at our truck and trailer headed all over the state of Texas for Rodeo Live. Of course, we'll head out throughout the country, throughout the rodeo season, but right now the action is right here in the Lone Star State, and I think there's a tie-down roper that's pretty proud of the performance he's had during his Texas swing.
Yeah, I think this Texas Cowboy's been enjoying his time in Texas. This is Kincaid Henry and Mario, the 4-time NFR qualifier that is looking for his very first gold buckle. He was really making a splash in the last couple of weeks of the season last year. Everyone was kind of sitting up a little bit straighter, thought, you know what, he might be in the race here for last year's World Championship. Made a great performance all 10 days of the NFR, but now this year you can tell he is coming for it, starting right here at Rodeo Austin, coming into the short go tonight. Looking back here at Houston, we know this guy is hot. You can see this run here, he made an exceptional run of 7.3. Of course, all eyes were on that 6.5. I mean, record-breaking run, of course, but knowing Kincaid, he's always quietly chipping away, and he will be there at the end because he is the type of guy that's getting checks everywhere.
Yeah, I think he's a guy we can't talk about enough in that world title race. Riley Webb, yes, he's getting the headlines. They've got to figure out how to get by him, but Kincaid Henry is a force to be reckoned with, and I think it's just a matter of time. But guys, we talked about inspirational rodeo stories, the power that rodeo has for healing, and I think that is certainly underway for a breakaway roper right now.
Absolutely. It was so great to see Kelsey smile in an arena again. We saw her in Houston. Of course, everyone is so happy that she was here, and now she is coming big here of a 2-point flat second run here in the playoffs to come in tonight of the short go. Of course, horrible thing that happened. Everyone is band together, and all of that love has just been pouring, of course, for such a tragedy. And just watching Kelsey here, we know everyone in the stands tonight is going to be clapping and cheering no matter what.
Yeah, she's certainly a breakaway roper that I think everybody across the rodeo world will be cheering for. But Coleman, in the steer wrestling, we've talked a little bit about Tristan Martin. He's leading the way, but you've got your eyes on someone else too.
Absolutely, a native Minnesotan that also loves this Texas swing weather. JD Strugness, great horse he has, Ice. Actually come from Carly Otero, an epic leader baby right there. Has made a world of difference for him, and he's been hot. He won San Antonio. He shows up here tonight. Jacobs, you know as well as I do, momentum in rodeo, it's a real thing, and he's rolling going into tomorrow, which is the inaugural 100,000 added bulldogging finals they have at Abilene. So it'll be interesting to watch tonight and how it rolls into tomorrow.
Yeah, Jacobs, to Coleman's point right there, momentum can truly, truly affect you when you go to nod your head.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we've got a different setup here in Austin, but when you're talking fractions of a second being all that splits the time events, that's made up pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these dudes can put it on them at any given time. And so it's basically a clean slate for everybody.
Well, and he's a past champion here, JD is. You know, last year he put them together. And anytime you're navigating in the 3s and 4s at Austin, especially as tough as the setup can be in the steer wrestling, you're doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal to watch the timed events from top to bottom. I'm excited after your preview in the rough stock, and we're going to put some money on this, I think, when we come back. We're going to talk about our picks. First of all, I have to say, though, Jacob's first time on the show, Sierra, he has been probably the most competitive rodeo picks player. We don't even know who he's chosen yet. So secretive.
I just don't, first off, I don't know why we should share our picks before they're public. You know what I'm saying? Because then we might have some last minute changes. And so, yeah, you kind of want to play your cards a little bit close. So.
Yeah, I think you've driven our production team crazy because how many times have you changed your picks today, Jacobs?
Why not be strategic? Well, first off, I got limited. I can't change them anymore, I was told.
They kept you off
so they kept me off from one less. But, you know, I'll change it as many times as it takes.
Okay.
But I am done now.
All right, I think we need to put some money on the line to make it worth all the stress that Jacobs is going through here. But when we come back, we're going to make those rodeo picks, and we've got a few special guests too. Midland will join us next on Rodeo Live.
Rodeo Live is brought to you by Las Tunas Performance Horses, International Horse Breeder.
Well, the countdown is on for the short round of Rodeo Austin, but we couldn't leave you without some musical entertainment. Of course, fans have been having fun across the Midway and the Carnival all day long, but we're having a lot of fun here on our Rodeo Live stage as we get you ready for the short round of Rodeo Austin. But like I said earlier on the show, we don't want to do it alone. We want to bring some friends in, and we brought Midland here. Cameron Duddy, Jess Carson, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Thanks for taking some time to talk a little rodeo with us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
And both of you, I know, have some Western agricultural ranching roots, but also a real love for rodeo. Jess, how much fun is it to play these rodeo shows?
It's the best. I mean, when you can be, we've gotten to be actually behind the chutes and hang out, and it's like, in our world, those are the people that we kind of get like, starstruck by still, because we're around musicians and stuff all the time, but when these rodeo guys, the lifestyle they lead, it's just the most romantic, great American sport, there is.
And I gotta say, you talked about y'all got to be behind the chutes. Let me tell you, that's in part because y'all look the part. I saw you standing down there earlier, and I was like, that dude looks like he's been going to a county bull riding earlier. Like, I've got some buddies that look just like this dude. And then they're like, oh, no, that's the band. I was like, we're fans, and so, you know what I mean? But, yeah, we're excited y'all are up here, man. But that's really cool.
Yeah, and we're going to put you to work here in a second and make you make a few picks here as we look ahead to Rodeo Austin. But you're a friend of the Cowboy channel. You were hanging out with Rocker Steiner. You appeared on an episode of Hell on Wheels, and we're also going to see you very soon at the American. How big is that show?
Oh, it's huge. Yeah. My neighbor was like, can he get tickets? Their timing's down the street. In fact, a lot of our neighbors and friends take part in rodeo in one way or another. So, when you get to play something like that, you're pretty much, you got a pass where we live in Dripping Springs and Driftwood and Wimberley. So we're minted for at least for the next 6 months. We're pretty good.
Yeah, as long as you can provide tickets for all your friends.
Yeah, stop asking.
All right, now I said we're going to put you to work, and I see you've got your own note cards there. Jacobs is hiding his right now. He does not want to give away, but we're going to make our rodeo picks here. We decided we're going to put a few bucks on it too, maybe $5. We're going to go through our picks here, and this is first of all how the game works. Individual finals are remaining here in Rodeo Austin and then San Angelo. This is the paid game. Entries are $10 per team. We get some payouts from 1st to 10th overall. You get 100 points for winning, and the exciting thing too, I'm a part of PFR Edge almost every week. There is still an opportunity to win that Polaris Ranger, even if you're just hopping into the competition now, but you've only got a couple more minutes before we kick things off. Entries close in just a couple minutes when we start Rodeo Austin, so get your team made. We're gonna hurry up and do that. I'm starting off in the bareback riding. I'm gonna go, Jacobs, with Keenan Hayes based on some advice that you gave. He's got a great horse tonight, user-friendly, but I wanna know who.
He looked great, but I changed my vote last minute. I'm going Rocker, and I know y'all are boys with him, so y'all may be on that pick too, but it's tough to go against him in Austin. Like the electricity, whenever they announce that dude, he is unapologetically different. Like Austin, he is the vibe of Austin.
He keeps it weird.
I'm picking, some of these picks are with my heart, some are with my head. Change it up, so I went Rocker.
Who'd you have before that? I got Cade Saunier. Is that still all right?
I love Saunier. I love Saunier.
I'm a Kate Saunier man myself, absolutely.
What about you guys?
We're going with Rocker. I mean, it's just a no-brainer to me. You can't bet against Rocker. He's on a good horse. He pulled a nice horse.
Oh, I got a tip.
Okay.
Is that not the horse that he won the Greeley Stampede on?
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure.
Okay. You guys are insider.
Pretty sure.
All right, moving on to this steer wrestling here. I want to get all our picks in before we have to wrap up the show. I'm going with number 1, Tristan Martin.
Me too. I was going with a heater on this one. I went Tristan.
I went Rowdy Parrott.
Absolutely, JD Struckness.
What are we on?
We did the same thing. We're going with Tristan Martin as well.
Okay, before I make my team roping pick here, Coleman, I've noticed something all along here. It sounds like you maybe outsourced your picks.
Absolutely. Yeah, my wife always wins when she plays these games. So I said, baby, will you make me a list? So I'm really hoping that my list I don't watch it just burn up. I'm just saying, y'all need me. I'm around, you know.
All right, I'm hoping you made your own pick for the team roping, but I'm going Clint Summers, Jade Corkill.
That's who I used. I had Summer and Corkill.
I went Andrew Ward, Jake Long. I went with your wife's pick.
Absolutely. Andrew Ward, Jake Long.
We're going Tomlinson Payne.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
Now-
Don't bet against Midland.
Now, much like you guys picked your pal in the bareback riding, I picked our pal to the show in the breakaway roping, Jordan Joe Hollabaugh all the way.
I went Kelsey. I went Domer.
Jordan Joe.
Kelsey Domer.
We're going Kelsey as well.
We want to win that Polaris.
I looked at their scorecard. We've only got one or two different, but we did as we started going down, and I was like, we got to make sure one of them's different.
Yeah, so what?
And if they'd have let me change my vote, we would have had another one that been.
We'll split the Polaris.
All right, bronc riding, I've got to go Zeke Thurston. I'm betting it on the guy that can handle the E-Pen.
Oh yeah, I went Rusty though. I went Rusty.
Okay.
That was with
Rusty,
my
right.
heart.
Yeah, all or nothing, Rusty, right.
Zeke Thurston, he's a fellow team roper.
Where are we?
I'll use Superman.
Oh, we're going. Yeah, we gotta go
shame in that
Stetson
game.
right.
Absolutely.
Why? How are you gonna bet against Stetson right?
Excellent point, guys. We have not talked
Are you
about
guys just trying to be
Superman enough.
controversial? Is that what
You gotta throw a
I
curveball. It's
said-
gotta be a talking point.
I said my criteria for coming down here was that somebody has to introduce me to Stetson. We haven't met him yet, so.
Deal.
I could do that.
We'll see if we can make that happen. I think
Stetson
I'm going to
can't
go
grow
with
a
my
mustache.
Stetson right in the tie-down roping. Riley Webb, he's just unstoppable.
I went with Kid Cade. I went with the heater. I think he can do it.
Let's break some more records. Riley Webb.
I'm going to try Joel Harris. I love the Harris down tonight. It's getting on.
Riley Webb.
Riley Webb, a great choice, great choice. In the barrel racing, Cassie Mowry, she's got to be my pick.
Same.
Cassie Mowry, top of the ground.
Latricia Duke.
We're going with Cassie Mowry as well. I mean,
Okay,
this is.
common pick.
Are we twinsies?
Oh, how cute. Okay, in the bull riding, I went out on a limb here, guys. I'm going with the young gun that has been on fire, Braxton Whitesell. He's been impressive.
It's a great pick, but I'm going with Quinn after that one, and he's got a good one that he knows. So.
I went with T. Parker.
I like Dalton Allred.
Hi.
I'm a late entry. Cameron Duddy is actually going to do this.
Yeah.
He's going to do bull riding
I'm
tonight.
getting in there.
Oh, breaking
pick-
news
I'm
here
gonna pick
on
him.
Rodeo Live.
Breaking necks is what. We called JB this morning and said, buddy, where are we going? And he said, you can't go wrong with Quinn Anderson. So we're going with that.
I didn't know you guys were going to cheat at this game.
We
and
cheated.
Call in experts.
It's a Polaris on the line.
Just using your resources. That's not cheating.
I just want to know, you guys are playing the American, but if you had to have one event in the American for $1 million, what event you doing?
We're going to be the rodeo clowns.
Yeah.
The most dangerous job, thankless job.
I mean, guaranteed paycheck right there. Guys, thanks so
Absolutely.
much for joining us. Thanks for playing along. We'll figure it out after the rodeo who won the big bucks tonight. But Cameron Duddy, Jess Carson, Midland, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us on Rodeo Live. Oh, what a fun show today. Big thank you to all of my co-hosts here for the Rodeo Austin Rodeo Live. We hope you're excited for the action you are about to see. Jeff Matters and Butch Knowles are about to take it away with the call inside the arena in Rodeo Austin. It's short round time right now.